So we have some dates for the Jannik Sinner hearing that's coming up over the next couple of months. We thought it was going to be in February, but it's actually going to be a little bit later than that. And we can also compare that to what the tennis schedule is going to look like over that time. So let's have a look at when it's going to be. So having a look at the media release that came out from the CAS, the Court of Arbitration for Sport, it says here, tennis anti-doping, CAS hearing in the case WADA versus Jannik Sinner, the ITIA, and the International Tennis Federation, the ITIF, to start 16th April 2025. So we thought it might be in February because, of course, they gave out all the information on what hearings they were going to do up until February, but it's actually going to be pushed until April, which means that Jannik Sinner can play up until that date, and that's only to start the hearing. So the result of the hearing could be a little bit later. Now let's go look at the tennis schedule and see when this is going to clash with the tournaments that he's potentially going to play. So April, on the 7th, we have Monte Carlo. So Sinner will be able to play that, obviously with a looming court case coming up a week later. Then you got Barcelona and Munich after that. So not sure if he's going to play those events. He's never really played those at that time. But then the big ones, Madrid and Rome, are happening between the end of April and the start of May. And then, of course, at the end of May, we've got Roland Garros. So with the hearing starting in middle of April, we don't know how long these things take. If a ban is given 1 week, 2 weeks, a month later, it means that he's probably most likely going to miss Roland Garros and maybe even Wimbledon if it is a ban for a few months or even up to a year. Of course, if it's up to a year, he's going to miss a whole year of the tour. But if it's only a couple of months, he's more than likely going to miss a couple of Grand Slams. So there you have it, a really interesting situation. We thought it was going to be in February, which would have meant that he potentially could have missed Indian Wells and Miami and be back for Roland Garros if it had only been a couple of months. But if it is a couple of months from April or even in May, if that's when we get the result, he could miss Roland Garros and Wimbledon and then be back after that. We don't know how long it's going to be. They want up to 2 years, so whatever between 0 and 2 years is. I mean, it could be a year, it could be 9 months, it could be 6 months, it could be a month, it could be 18 months. I mean, we don't know what the result is going to be, but if it is a couple of months, that means he's probably going to miss Roland Garros, which at the very least, miss Roland Garros if he gets a couple of months. But if it's more than that, obviously US Open in trouble as well. If it's 6 months, it could be it could be back at the end of the year, which is really interesting. But let me know in the comments below. What do you think of all of this? I know we talk about it all the time, but it is this ongoing case. So the case is starting in the middle of April. We won't know a result until after that, but Jannik will be able to play up until that date at least.